Hi, Clutter Fairy fans. Welcome to the Clutter Fairy Weekly for May 19th, 2020. I'm your co-host, Ed Gumnick, and I'm speaking with Gayle Goddard, professional organizer and owner of the Clutter Fairy in Houston, Texas.
Hello, everybody. This is our weekly webcast and podcast where we talk about all things organizing, and we are going to talk about the bathroom today. We ask you please to make comments and give us questions and things you want answered, and we're trying to answer those questions every week, and so we appreciate that you go out there and do that. And today we're going to answer some questions about the closet from last week, and we're going to talk about bathrooms.
If this is the first time you're joining us in Zoom, you can share your comments and questions via the chat, and I'll try to make sure Gayle addresses them before we move on to another topic. You can use the raise hand feature if you'd like to ask a question or make a comment yourself via audio or video, and I'll turn on your microphone or enable your video. We are streaming the webcast live on Facebook, and as we do every week during the live webcast, you can talk to us directly by calling 669-900-6833. Use meeting ID 993-419-863 to join the meeting. Okay, Gayle, we got a lot of comments on last week's topic, which was organizing the bedroom. Several viewers and listeners reported to us that they felt inspired to work on their bedrooms while they were listening to us live or while they were listening to the video later.
Yay.
Congratulations to everybody who's making good progress, and keep up the good work.
Yay!
One regular UK viewer wrote to us to say, I have a husband whose inner teenager is inclined to store his clothes on the floor-drobe, so I negotiated one bedpost for him to lay his outfit on. It's just big enough for trousers and a t-shirt, but no more.
What a great idea to negotiate a solution with the person that you live with. I recommend offering a few options and letting your housemate pick the one that they prefer. That always increases the chances it'll actually get used. And what you love and find helpful may not be how they feel. It may not be what appeals to them. And letting them pick their preferred solution enrolls them in the process. She also suggested that if you're living in a rented space and can't put up hooks, because we discussed the clothes that you wear once and then you want to be able to wear again another day, or you want to be able to hang your pajamas up because you're going to wear them again the next night. And we talked about putting hooks up on the wall, in the closet, in the bathroom, places like that. If you don't feel like that you can put a hook up for whatever reason, she says that IKEA sells a valet stand that's a handy alternative. And viewer Cheryl suggested that a freestanding coat rack, the skinny kind with hooks that can squeeze in next to a door, can be a good place to hang jammies and sweats. I think that's a great idea. If you have a little coat rack in there and you can hang on, here's the bathrobe and here's the pajamas, or here's yesterday's jeans, you can get some clothes up on the coat rack instead of on the floor or on a chair, over the bed post, whatever. And it gets them out of the way and still allows them to air out so that you can wear them again the next day. So I thought that particular suggestion was a really great one.
And it occurs to me that if your space is very limited and you're nowhere near an IKEA, sometimes children's, stores that have a section with children's furniture will have some very small options. We used to have a giraffe. We had a closed giraffe that was a very simple design, very slim and tall, with several, the ears were hooks, and it had ears and the little horn things that, I don't know if they're real. They're not really horns on a giraffe.
No,
I don't know what they call them.
no,
but,
yeah, right.
And so those were, hooks for pajamas or whatever. And even if you're an adult with whimsical tastes, you could have one of those in your bedroom. You don't have to be a kid to use kid furniture if that's all that fits.
Right. Well, and the other thing is that pay attention when back to school season comes, because then there's always a whole lot of products that get stocked for students going off to college and living in small apartments and dorms. And so there's always a lot of small square footage solutions that appear during back to school. So be on the lookout there as well.
Let's get to our main topic. We're continuing our series that we're calling Organizing Room by Room, and today we're going to turn our attention to the bathroom. We called this episode Squeaky Clean, Organizing Strategies for the Bathroom.
Sorry, Ed's titles always make me laugh. Oh, so bathroom products seduce us with their lovely colors and their soothing fragrances and promises of shiny hair and restful soaks. Before you know it, the countertop and the drawers and the edge of the tub and the back of the toilet, I don't know why that one, but there's always stuff on the back of the toilet, is always, all these places are overflowing with jars and bottles and tubes and accessories. We've got tips to get the bathroom organized almost as quickly as you can say, Calgon, take me away. That is an ad campaign that you have to be old enough to remember. I think I just dated myself. Your bathroom is a very private place. And besides using it for the obvious reasons, you start your days there, you get showered, shaved, and coiffed for the day. At the end of the day, you do it all in reverse to get ready for bed. And so you spend a lot of time there, but most visitors to your home don't. They use the other bathroom, the public one, or the one that the kids use, which means that your bathroom is your very own place to treat as you wish. And here's the problem. If a space in your house isn't seen by the public, then it's usually the most neglected. And I'm always surprised that we're motivated to clean a room when others will see it, but we have no energy at all for the spaces that we use the most often. And we're the ones who have to live with the mess every day, not our guests. Bathrooms collect a certain kind of junk more than any other room in the house. There's a class of products that belongs uniquely to the bathroom. So body washes and hair gels, medication and first aid products, for instance, they collect there under the sink and in the cabinets, and before you know it, you're drowning in bottles and jars. We buy way more products than we need because they smell good, and what's one more bottle under the sink? But we can only use those products so fast, and if you're buying faster than you're using, you end up with exploding cabinets in the bathroom, and I have seen it time and time again. Bath products lure you with the promise of peace and tranquility in a relaxing bath, but all those bottles and jars falling out of the cabinet certainly don't deliver that experience. Instead, let's thin out the contents and clean up the bathroom, and then you can really have a peaceful sanctuary every day because you know you're going to go in there 15 times a day. So here are some ideas for reclaiming the bathroom. The first thing is that you have to acknowledge your product habit. Like office supplies, bath products are a cheap and easy indulgence, but it would take you years to use the products you have right now. So stop buying bath products because they're a good deal. See how long it takes you to use up what you have. I bought my last trip to Bath & Body Works, for instance, I bought 8 products because it was on sale, and I tried some, oh, look, new fragrances, la la. And I bought them on sale 2.5 years ago, and I'm down to 3 bottles now. So that's a bottle every 6 months. And most size bottles are how, they're tall bottles and they're however many ounces. It takes a long time to get through one bottle. So if you translate the number of bottles to how long it takes to use them, how many years worth of products are in your cabinet right now? Do the math. If you think it takes a quarter to get through, if you're super generous and use a lot of soap when you take a shower and you go through that 12 ounce or 16 ounce bottle and it takes you a quarter to use it, how many quarters are in your cabinet right now? That's the question you should know, because it will help you stop when you go to see, you're going through the grocery store or you're going through the drugstore and you see another bottle on the counter and, oh, look, that looks cool. And then you can go, yes, but I won't be able to get to this one for 7.5 years because I have that many bottles in front of it. You need to know the amount of time that's built into the products that you have and whether or not how long you're going to use it, right? So it's time to thin the herd. You know you've tried tons of product that you didn't like, but they're still in the cabinet. So it's time to pass those on to someone else or throw them out. If the product's very old, it may not be really safe to use anymore, so use your best discretion about that. But bath products, personal care products, certainly things that have never been used, but even things that have been partially used are great donations to take to a women's shelter or a men's shelter or a homeless shelter so that they can give out product to people that at no cost to them. And so shampoo and conditioner and body wash and soaps and all that kind of stuff that you would use in the bath, even if they've been opened, they're probably not spoiling unless they're a whole lot older. So consider making a collection of personal care products and taking them off to a shelter somewhere where they have a constant flow of people and it can be given away and used. Exactly. Then the makeup, let me just say, the products that you've tried that are still in the cabinet, one of those is always makeup. We try a lot of face products. We try a lot of makeup types, and it's the wrong color. We don't like how it feels. It's too heavy, whatever happens, and you don't end up using it. That makeup has a much, much shorter shelf life. So if you try something and decide that you don't like it, I would immediately offer it up to your friends, make a bundle to go, like make a quarterly trip to the shelter with makeup that you tried and didn't like, and let them make it available to other people. If you've tried it once or twice and you clearly haven't used half of it and then brought it to them, they'll probably throw it away. But if you've only swiped it once or twice and didn't like it, you can probably give it to them and they'll be okay with giving it out to their clients on the other end. Okay, shower stalls and tubs are not storage rooms. Yes, we tend to line these products up like we need 20 bottles to get clean and when we take our shower. I have been into bathtubs where the entire rim of the bath has products all the way around it in every available space, and then there's a rack on the shower and there's stuff hanging on that. And really, the shower is not a storage unit and you do not need to leave all that product in there. So the shower should hold what you're currently using and not everything you've ever tried, and try to stick with 1 or 2 bottles for a few months and see if you can use it up. Challenge yourself to, okay, I'm going to use the vanilla cinnamon because it's fall, and let's see if I can get done with it before Christmas comes. And then when spring comes around, I'm going to get out the magnolia scented one and try to use a flower one. The idea is not to leave a whole bunch of product there that just keeps getting wet constantly, and then it's making water stand on the rim of your shower tub, and so it's staining or getting dirty under there, and it's a hassle. If you have somebody that cleans, or if you have to clean your tub, what a hassle to move 40 bottles out of the way so that the surface can be cleaned. That's a pain in the neck. And so you want to treat this as a frequent use space and only have the products that you're using all the time, and then everything else is backstock or it needs to be donated, right?
And you have to also consider the needs of any visitors who might use your shower stall or bathtub.
What if you have guests?
Because if someone is 6'4" and has to towel off in your tiny little enclosure,
Oh
you
no.
know, anything extraneous is going to end up knocked off onto the ground, and that's no fun.
I can totally see that happening, and it's true. If you turn around in the shower and there's a bunch of stuff on the edge, how many times have you clipped that stuff and it's all fallen into your feet? Make it easier for you and your 6'4" guests to
I only
be
have about
moving.
I only have about 3 things in my shower stall,
Yeah.
and I invariably knock one of them to the floor while toweling off every day.
With your
So
3 things, right?
yes.
Well, and I have one little stand that's 3 tiers that stands in the corner of my shower, and I have the hair shampoo and conditioner stuff, and then I have 2 flavors of bath gel, and I have a foot scrubber product that I occasionally sit down and scrub my feet with, and a spongy thing that a loofah sponge that I sponge with, and a razor, and that's kind of it. And I have a big enough space so I can have that thing standing in the corner, and it's not drowning in stuff, and it's not in my way. And so luckily I don't knock everything off. But like you said, some of those if it's a shower only, it's very narrow. It's a little cube that's very narrow, and it's easy to knock that stuff around. And so I have that problem actually in my dad's house when I go to stay for the holidays, and I'm in their guest room upstairs, and it's a shower stall, and I am like spinning around in the shower scrubbing things, and I end up knocking things with my elbow and my arm, and I knock product off in their bathroom all the time, and it makes me insane. Yes, I end up taking things out while I'm staying there. Okay, shower stalls.
Erica asked,
Okay,
do you keep a separate group of shampoos, et cetera, in a bag for when you travel?
I
And
do.
do you bring back bath things from hotel rooms?
I
For
do not.
example, well, what about like the rest of a bar of soap that you might otherwise get thrown away?
Oh, yes, I do that, but I collect them in a Ziplocs and then I donate them away. I don't keep them. Um, if I use a soap, then I will use it out. You know, if I open a soap, I try to avoid opening the soap. If I have to open the soap because I've forgotten something or I'm out or whatever, then I will use the soap, but then I will Ziploc it and bring it home with me and donate it so that it can be used. Um, I do my best not to open the products there because I don't want to add to the collection. I do keep a separate, like I keep a travel kit that is packed all the time, and I have small bottles that I keep filled with my regular product so that I'm not taking product in and out of the shower when I travel. So I basically keep a duplicate set. And I have, you know, all of my face products. I keep a duplicate set of allergy meds. I keep all the stuff that I normally use in the morning. I keep a duplicate set in my travel kit so that it's already there and ready to go. And the same thing with, you know, if I'm taking makeup and stuff, then I'm going to pull out a set of things, like I have lip balms and stuff that I have that I keep in the travel kit that I don't ever put back. I have tweezers that I keep in the travel kit, and I don't pull my regular tweezers down. I use the ones that are in the travel kit. So I don't want to dismantle my bathroom every time I travel somewhere. Not that I'm going anywhere right now, but in general, I try to keep a duplicate small set of everything. And I actually, because I use a Mary Kay products face wash stuff, they sold a little travel kit of those products. And so I bought it specifically so I could put that little kit in my travel thing and not have to take my big containers with me on the trip. It saves space in the luggage, and it means that my DOP kit is ready to go as soon as I need to start packing, which is awesome. And of course, after a long trip, I have to go in and refill everything. But it's easier for me to refill on the back end than it is to make that be part of the packing process. Okay, is that all the questions for the Mo?
Well, Erica also said it's nice for kids to be able to do their own pickup. Do you have a suggestion for kid-friendly rubber ducky storage?
So they do make some little suction cupped, like a little triangular suction cup hammock that you can suction cup onto the bathroom wall so that they can throw their things into the little hammock and let them drip dry, because of course they're always wet. Or if you wanted to use a bucket, something like think of a milk crate that has holes in it, something that is basically mesh. If you have like a mesh travel bag or any kind of a mesh bag that's big enough with a drawstring that might be used for laundry or something, and you can throw toys in that and then hang it over the shower rod so that it will drip dry. Clearly you want those things to dry in between so they're not getting moldy for your kids to play with. So any kind of with kids, no lid is great. Depending on, I'm assuming if they're playing with rubber duckies, they're small kids. So lid, opening and closing a lid is an impediment to a little kid. So you want it to be easy and open. You might get like a collapsible pop-up kind of thing. So it'll be an open container that pops up, but it's still mesh. And you can get them to throw the things in there, and then you can get them out and drain the water and put that in the tub, and the water then can drain from the toys, and they can dry until the next time you put them into the tub.
Some interesting comments about, you know, people's particular style of bathroom product use. One viewer on Zoom said, I use 1 bar of homemade soap in a seashell on the floor, 1 foot pumice, and a razor on a suction cup. That's it. And Abby said, I hate the look of different bottles, so I have small uniform ones and then refill as needed. That's when it becomes real about how often I use this or this one or that one, which is a good point. If you're refilling them frequently, you have an idea of what you really
What
depend
you
on.
actually
And
prefer.
yeah,
Well, and there are people that like, the idea of using the same scent every day, and the bath gel that smells like vanilla would annoy them and they want to be able to change it up. But you can still limit yourself to a palette of scents and say, here's 3 flavors and I'm going to jump between these 3, and it'll still take you 9 months to use it all up, but you'll have 3 choices. But maybe the deal is, depending on how married you are to being able to change the scent all the time, I would, put 3 in and use them for a week, and then you can put those 3 away and put 3 more out if you'd like. If you want to have an array, some people want 12 scents to pick from. I would still pull them in small batches and use them and rotate them in and out. If it just depends on how far you want to go with how many scents you have available. But ultimately, the more that you have running, the longer it's going to take to get through all of them. So you may want to commit to a couple of scents for a couple of months and get to the bottom of the bottles. The other thing I would recommend is that if you like a lot of scents, buy the smallest option possible, even if you're buying travel sizes. So Bed Bath sells travel sizes, and those little travel sizes are a way that you can buy a whole bunch of flavors and get through them in a reasonable amount of time. So that little bottle that's, probably 6 ounces maybe, it might take you a month to use up all the stuff in the travel size. You think, oh my gosh, it's a travel size, it's going to be used up in a minute, but it doesn't. It takes a long time to use it all up.
they're probably all 3.5 ounces
You're
for
right. For travel,
yeah,
for the airplanes now.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it does take you a while, but if you use those little bitty ones, then you can rotate the scents all the time. You'll get in and out of a scent a lot faster. So play to what you prefer. If multiple options is more important to you, then don't buy a 20-ounce bottle. Buy a 6-ounce bottle or a 3-ounce bottle so that you can use it up and get to another scent. And then you don't have to store 47 20-ounce bottles somewhere. And always acknowledge when you don't like a scent. If you think you're going to like it and you bring it home and you try it and you really don't, then you either need to power through it and use it up and don't buy it again, or you need to pull it out immediately and donate it away if it's not, or offer it to your friends or whatever you want to do. But don't hang on to it because you spent money on it and then you hate it and it's just going to sit there and get waterlogged forever and be, a brick in the corner of your shower or an extra place in the cabinet.
Petra added, we have drawers next to the shower and we dry the bottles after use and put them back in the drawer. That way the shower always looks clean and uncluttered.
There you go. And you could, dry them off and have a little bin that goes in and out too if you wanted to. Easy in and out though. That's awesome. Good job. Okay, so can I roll back in?
Please.
Okay, so we talked about that. Next on the list is medicine cabinets. All medicine cabinets need help. First, you've kept those meds for way too long. Anything expired needs to go. Second, those little shelves can barely hold anything, and trying to stand everything up on those little skinny shelves guarantees it's all going to fall out. As soon as you reach in to try to grab something, something else comes out with it. So find some narrow open containers to sit on the shelf and hold all the little doodads and tiny bottles that belong there. So I brought mine out of my bathroom to show you. Here is the mesh version. And see, this is as wide as my hand. So it's a little square. And I have some perfume bottles and some eye drops in here. This is like little perfume stuff. So these little things on their own, they're wobbly. They're not going to stand very well. And if you touch them on the way in to grab the eye drops, it's all going to fall down. But this way, they can rustle around in here. And even though I want this and this falls over, it's not going anywhere on your medicine shelf. Here is a clear version. I also have a clear version. So this is the little clear version, and it is probably like 6 inches long. And see, but they're only a couple of inches wide. And this one as well. These are the same width, basically. And so this is sort of the typical width of a medicine cabinet that's on the wall, and you open the door and you get 2-inch deep a shelf, right? So these things on all of those shelves allow you to put things in here. Here's all these little, you know, lip balms that I have here, and they can stay in this thing, and no matter how they flop around, they're not falling out. And this is a jar that I get in and out all the time, and so there it is, and it helps hold my stuff up. And so this kind of container is a great way to make that medicine cabinet function a little bit better. So this is a shorter version. They of course make longer versions. They make these things that are opaque instead of clear if you don't want to see through them. There's a million options, but you're looking for that, you know, 2-inch wide, however long thing to stick on those shelves in the medicine cabinet. Okay, so that's a medicine cabinet. Devise a way to control your counter space. So we have makeup and hair products and deodorant and toothpaste, and we have to use that stuff every day. So your working stock should be accessible. This is no different than the pantry or anywhere else in the house. What you use every day should be accessible easily, and the rest of the stuff, all the multiples, all the extras don't have to be on top of the counter. You need to find a cabinet to hold your back stock, and you can containerize it in categories. And when you run out of the one that is in your working stock, like you get to the end of the deodorant you're using, then you can go shop in your own store, right? You can go to where your back stock is and shop. And then when you take the last deodorant out of the back stock, that is your trigger that it's time to go put the deodorant on the shopping list and go to Costco and buy your next round of 3 or whatever you're going to do. And then you put them back in the store. Because when you're triggered, when you take the last one out, you still have, you know, a month before it's going to run out. So you can go shop and put those back in the back stock, and then your system is in place again. You run out, you go back and you've already replaced them, and you get a new one to take out. I think that the thing about the counter is that people either like it to be very, very bare. They like really bare surfaces. They like things contained where you can't see them, or they like everything out to be able to see it. So I think in either of those scenarios, the less you have on the counter, the better. And what you put on the counter should be the stuff that you use all the time. My deodorant and toothpaste are in the medicine cabinet in my bathroom, but I have some vitamins. I have some like the Q-tips and other things that I use every day are out on the counter. Then all the rest of my back stock, the makeup, the first aid products, those are all in cabinets underneath or in the linen cabinet that's at the end. Those things that you don't use very often can be containerized by category and put away somewhere else so that it's not cluttering up the counter. And this is an area where, because you go and stand at that sink every day, a couple of times a day, it's always a constant fight to keep it controlled. So the less you have to fight with, the better. And when you buy something new, don't come and put it all on top of the counter. You want to put out what you're going to use, and what's left needs to go somewhere else. Okay, the end about the countertop. So the last thing on my list, and then you can ask questions, the linen cabinets always hold more than linens in the bathroom. I mean, they usually put some kind of cabinet in the bathroom that's intended to hold towels and perhaps sheets, you know, the washcloths and hand cloths that you're going to use in that room. But then other people, you store other things in there besides. So some people only like to use those linen closets for products, and some people are shoving all their towels in there and they don't have room for any products. But if you have some room, treat it just like a pantry. It's a pantry for your personal care products. So you can containerize those things, introduce Lazy Susans in there. A 2-tiered Lazy Susan, one that has 2 things, holds a lot of aspirin and cold medicine bottles, right? Those products that you keep, those over-the-counter medications that you keep for when you get sick, when you're feeling bad, when you have a headache. You don't need those products every day. You need them when something happens. And so put those in that cabinet and put them on a lazy Susan, and then when you feel your headache coming on, you can go and get your aspirin out. But otherwise, it doesn't have to live on the counter. That's the idea. So if you have any questions, now's the time. Those are some quick tips for the bathroom, and I am happy to entertain conversation.
Jane said, my biggest challenge is old products and not knowing what to do with them, especially old cleaning products and old meds.
So Jane is in the United States or not in the United States? Good question.
I don't know. I think she's in the United States, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so in the United States, they have a national drug take-back process, and they usually announce that, in California. Okay, so they usually announce that once a month, but you can, and there are some designated drugstores, pharmacies that will take back drugs all the time. They must have some sort of setup connection with the National Drug Take Back people. But if you Google National Drug Take Back Day, you should end up with a list, go back to their website. It'll show you how and when to find out when it's happening in your area.
Yeah, the address is takebackday.dea.gov.
There you go. Thank you very much. And we'll post that in the comments later as well. So that process, when they have a take back day, they create stations. Like in my neighborhood, they did a pop-up tent in the parking lot at the Walmart, and they had 2 people and a couple of cops, and you drove up with your car and handed them the expired meds, and then they disposed of them properly, and I was able to drive away. So it was super easy. I have also gone, there's a couple of Walgreens that are on sort of nonstop, where they take it back nonstop. And so you can find a list of locations in your area that take it regardless of the day, and swing by there and hand them in and say, hi, these are my meds to destroy. Don't take your labels off of them. They do want the labels so that they can identify the medication. So leave the label, leave them in their original containers, leave them with their date stamps and their, medicine descriptions, so they know what product you're giving them, and then they can take all those things and dispose of them. The other thing was the chemicals. So the chemicals, like the cleaning chemicals, those are things that they're not good to pour down the drain. They're not good to just throw in the regular trash. Those need to go back to, and in Houston, we have it's called the Environmental Service Center, but basically it's a toxic chemical recycle place. So you should Google in your own area toxic chemical disposal and see what pops up for your area. If you have a governmental agency that's running a recycling program, they likely have a toxic chemical hazardous waste place, right? They probably have one, and that's the place where you have to go and drop that stuff off. If you decide to make the trip, don't stop in your bathroom. If you're going to make a hazardous chemical trip, go into every single bathroom, under every sink, go into the sink under the kitchen, find every product in the utility room, go into the garage and look at all of those, all that kind of stuff. Make all that stuff go away at once. All that, and put things in boxes or containers so that you have some protection between the container with the chemicals and your car upholstery. You don't want to sit a bunch of cans and have something knock over and spill and create a disaster. So make sure that you feel comfortable that it's sitting in something that will at least be some momentary protection between your car and your chemical on the way to disposing of it.
I want to take a second and remind viewers and listeners that our YouTube channel has more than 100 videos on a wide variety of organizing topics. Go to cfhou.com/YouTube. Ta-da! You can click subscribe on YouTube to get notifications whenever we post a new video. We had a question from a viewer in Zoom saying, could you please post your topics in advance? because, you know, some topics are more relevant to particular viewers and listeners. And we're working on fleshing out our list of topics farther into the future so that we can try to, you know, post a list of upcoming topics so people can, yeah, so people can be sure to tune in for the ones that are particularly appropriate for them.
Right.
So, let's see, we had other questions. Ellie said, we buy small to medium-sized bottles of liquid products and 3-ounce or smaller travel size, and then buy the larger sizes to refill those. And she
that
mentioned,
works so that you have you have the travel ones in the shower, the smaller
right,
bottles in the shower, and then you refill from the larger container.
The large ones can be somewhere else, like under the sink, where, you know, where the space is less
That's great.
accessible.
That's perfect.
She mentions Dr. Bronner's liquid soaps that come in 1-gallon size that she orders online, container, which lasts a really long time.
Right, you must not run out forever.
They make unscented as well as scented soaps. Petra added, our bathroom isn't all that big, so we keep the back stock in a closed tall cabinet in the laundry room, which is on the same floor between the bathroom and the bedroom.
That's a great place.
There's no, in our guest bathroom, there's no closet and no medicine chest. So very little lives in there, but there's a hall closet that gets our bathroom overflow. That's our situation.
Yeah. I mean, you have to adapt to your own cabinet space, of course, but the idea is you want to centralize that stuff someplace that you can go and shop from when you're ready to replace what's in use.
Yeah. Petra mentioned we didn't have any cabinets or drawers in our previous bedroom. And so she used, I think she meant bathroom. She used smallish baskets for some items on top of the toilet. I don't like to keep anything on top of the toilet because invariably, as soon as I get everything arranged the way I want it, then I have to take the lid off, you know, and fiddle with the handle or something.
Right. Well, and you know, it looks like it's flat, but it's not exactly flat, right? Like the lid goes and then at the end it curves down. And so if you get it too crowded up there, the slightest knock will send half the stuff onto the floor. So I think that the toilet is a dangerous place to store a bunch of product, but if you do want to have some products on there, I would at least put a tray or a container to stick things in so it sits up there, and if you bump something, you'll move the box around, but you won't send everything crashing to the floor. Yeah, bull in a china shop.
Yeah, the basket is a good idea for that.
yeah, some kind of basket.
Nancy said, when I grow up, I want a bathroom just like yours, Clutter Fairy. I think it's time for a disclaimer that you are not broadcasting from your actual bathroom.
All right. This is not my actual bathroom, although I love the color of the tile, right? Like that's fabulous. Yes, this is, you know, a beautiful Photoshop. There is nothing on the counter. Look at all that counter space. There's nothing happening. This to me looks like a bathroom in a, you know, a showing unit, like the show apartment when you go to the apartment or the homeowners, the first home built in a subdivision and they want you to tour it. And so this is the bathroom that no one actually lives in. In our background there. But it matches my necklace anyway. It's, you know, we're color coordinated today. Okay,
we are about out of time. And
oh, we are.
A reminder that our next webcast will be on Tuesday, May 26th at noon U.S. Central Time, live in Zoom and streaming on Facebook. And our topic will be blenders and peelers and whisks. Oh my, decluttering the kitchen. If you are watching this on YouTube, we'd love for you to join us live. To get notifications about upcoming events, we invite you to join the meetup group by visiting cfhou.com/meetup. You can also follow us on Facebook by going to cfhou.com/Facebook, or subscribe to our mailing list by visiting cfhou.com/subscribe. We love to hear from you, so please send us your questions and topic suggestions in the YouTube comments or any channel where you find us. And you can always reach us through our website at clutterfairyhouston.com.
Lovely to see you guys again. We're so happy that you join us every week, and we will see you next week talking about kitchens. Bye.
Bye.